The United States often feels less like one single country and more like 50 different little nations stitched together under one flag. Every state runs things its own way, its own laws, its own economy, its own rhythm of daily life, its own version of the American dream. And while some corners of America are booming, growing, and thriving with new jobs and new arrivals every year, others are quietly struggling with rising crime, stagnant paychecks, crumbling infrastructure, and people packing up and leaving for greener pastures. Today we're counting down the 10 U.S. states that come out worst when you weigh everything that actually matters day to day: the local economy, public safety, cost of living, education quality, and overall quality of life. Some of these states might surprise you, especially the ones with the most beautiful scenery on paper. Let's kick things off with number 10, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is the 6th largest state by population, and on paper it looks fantastic. A prime location, gorgeous countryside, centuries of history, and elite schools like the University of Pennsylvania. But scratch beneath that postcard image and you'll see why this state keeps showing up on worst places to live lists. Start with the weather. Winters drag on and hit hard, summers turn sticky and humid, and the state's major rivers bring a constant threat of flooding, which quietly wrecks home maintenance budgets and insurance bills. Housing prices themselves look fair next to other states, but don't be fooled. A flat income tax plus some of the steepest property taxes in the nation chew through your paycheck fast, so what lands in your bank account is a lot less than you'd expect. Safety is another sore spot. Philadelphia's violent crime numbers sit well above the national average, and as the old manufacturing base has faded, unemployment has crept up across rural towns and old Rust Belt communities, splitting the state into economic haves and have-nots and leaving young workers scrambling for stable careers. On the healthcare side, Pennsylvania does have some genuinely world-class hospitals, but if you live out in the countryside, good luck getting to one without a long, expensive trip. Education tells a similar story. Funding gaps between rich districts and poor ones are enormous, meaning your kid's education basically comes down to your zip code. And then there's the daily grind. Philadelphia traffic is brutal and rural roads and bridges are aging fast, constantly begging for repairs that never seem to come. Here's the money picture. Average monthly income per person sits around $4,000, monthly cost of living including rent runs about $2,400, and the average home will run you roughly $254,500. Numbers that sound manageable on paper but sting a lot more once taxes and repair bills come knocking. Number 9, Oklahoma. Sitting right in the heartland, Oklahoma mixes cowboy culture with deep Native American history, and it's got a lot going for it. Some of the cheapest living costs anywhere in the country, dirt cheap real estate that makes homeownership feel achievable again, and an economy humming along on oil and farming. On paper, it almost sounds like a bargain. So what actually lands it on this list? 2 words: Tornado Alley. Oklahoma sits smack in the middle of it, getting hammered every year by ferocious tornadoes, violent thunderstorms, and hail the size of baseballs. Add in brutally hot summers, and living here means checking the forecast obsessively. Weather anxiety just becomes part of the routine. Naturally, homeowners' insurance runs sky high compared to most of the country. Public transit is basically non-existent too, so owning a car isn't optional, it's mandatory. Healthcare-wise, Oklahoma ranks near rock bottom nationally, with sky-high chronic illness rates and rural hospitals that are tough to reach. Schools face chronic underfunding, which has triggered a real teacher shortage and dragging educational outcomes. Plenty of parents worry about what that means for their kids down the road. Don't let the quiet rural state reputation fool you either. Cities like Tulsa and parts of Oklahoma City post violent crime rates well above the national norm. Unemployment isn't catastrophic, but job quality and pay are generally weak, and career options are basically locked into oil and agriculture. Step outside those industries and your choices shrink fast along with your paycheck. State income tax isn't brutal, but Oklahoma makes up for it with sales taxes that climb as high as 9% in some cities. Money snapshot. Average monthly income per person is about $3,700, monthly cost of living including rent runs near $1,800, and average home prices sit around $199,800. Number 8, Michigan. This is a genuinely unique state, split across 2 peninsulas and hugging the longest freshwater shoreline on Earth, home to 4 of the 5 Great Lakes and the birthplace of the American auto industry. Summers here are gorgeous, housing is remarkably cheap next to coastal states, and schools like the University of Michigan are academic powerhouses that draw students from all over the world. But lakes and forests aren't the whole story, and once you look past the postcard images the picture gets a lot more complicated. Michigan's biggest headache is its infrastructure. The roads are notoriously among the worst in the country, thanks to harsh winters and road salt eating through the asphalt year after year. Even scarier is the water situation. Despite being surrounded by fresh water, several cities have dealt with lead contamination in their pipes, Flint being the most infamous example, and its effects are still felt today. Winters aren't just cold, they're a genuine endurance test, long, dark, and prone to brutal lake-effect snowstorms. As the big auto manufacturers scaled back, the state saw waves of layoffs and a steady drain of talent heading to states with more modern tech opportunities, hitting the local economy hard. Safety remains a touchy subject too. Detroit and Saginaw regularly show up on lists of America's most dangerous cities, and even with major redevelopment underway, the divide between safe neighborhoods and rough ones stays wide, which can be unsettling if you're relocating with a family. And don't assume cheap housing means cheap living overall. For years, Michigan carried the highest car insurance rates in the nation thanks to its unusual no-fault insurance system, and combined with state and local taxes, monthly expenses end up higher than you'd expect. Numbers: average monthly income per person runs about $4,100, monthly cost of living including rent is close to $1,900, and average home prices land around $231,600. Cheap on paper, but the insurance and infrastructure costs quietly close that gap. Number 7, Arkansas. Nicknamed the natural state thanks to the stunning Ozark Mountains and gems like Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas is one of the most affordable places to live in the entire country. It's the heart of the American South: agriculture, hunting, and rock-bottom living costs, with cheap housing and beautiful scenery everywhere you turn. But that calm surface hides some real problems. Arkansas battles one of the highest poverty rates in the nation, and even though a few big corporate headquarters call it home, most available jobs pay poorly. The income gap is wide, and opportunities in tech and innovation are scarce, leaving plenty of people underemployed even when jobs technically exist. Safety is a major worry. Little Rock consistently posts violent crime numbers that rival cities several times its size, and the whole state deals with elevated property crime and assault rates, unsettling anyone thinking about settling down. Healthcare is another weak point, with Arkansas ranking among the worst states for medical access. High obesity and heart disease rates paired with rural hospitals that are hard to reach. Education isn't much better. Public schools generally underperform, and the share of college graduates ranks among the lowest nationwide, dragging down overall quality of life. As for weather, summer humidity is nearly unbearable, and the state sits in an active tornado corridor, with violent storms capable of destroying property in seconds. Meaning whatever you save on cheap housing, you're likely to lose right back to environmental risk and steep insurance costs. A trade-off a lot of new residents don't fully grasp until their first stormy season. Money picture: average monthly income per person is about $3,900, monthly cost of living including rent runs near $1,900, and average home prices sit around $188,000. Number 6, Alabama. Home to NASA's rocket program, tucked in the heart of the Deep South, Alabama offers some of the cheapest housing and living costs in the entire country, gorgeous white sand Gulf beaches, and a deep historical role as the cradle of the civil rights movement. Huntsville has even become a genuine global hub for aerospace and defense work, drawing engineers from across the country. But step outside those tech pockets and the picture shifts fast, sometimes dramatically so. Healthcare is Alabama's biggest crisis. The state ranks near the very bottom nationwide for medical quality, with sky-high rates of obesity, diabetes, and heart disease, plus troubling maternal and infant health outcomes, made worse by a wave of rural hospital closures that leave entire counties without nearby care. Even with cheap living costs, poverty runs well above the national average, job opportunities outside aerospace and auto manufacturing are thin and wages stay low. Taxes don't help either. Alabama is one of the few states that still charges full sales tax on raw groceries. Education struggles too, with math and reading scores lagging behind national benchmarks, chronic school underfunding, and a stark divide between wealthy districts and the historically poorer Black Belt region, meaning your child's future often hinges on where you happen to live. Safety brings its own headaches, with Birmingham and Mobile posting violent crime rates well above the national average. And the weather doesn't go easy either. Brutal summer humidity paired with regular tornadoes and Gulf tropical storms that leave residents with massive insurance and repair bills. Numbers: average monthly income per person is around $3,600, monthly cost of living including rent is about $1,800, and the average home price is roughly $199,900. Affordable, sure, but the healthcare gaps make that affordability a lot harder to enjoy. Number 5, West Virginia. The only state that sits entirely within the Appalachian Mountains, West Virginia, has jaw-dropping natural beauty, yet it's landed near the top of worst states rankings for years running, and once you dig into why, the reasons become pretty clear. Housing is dirt cheap, and the privacy and peace you get tucked into the mountains is honestly hard to match anywhere else in the country. The trouble began when the world started turning away from coal, the industry that once powered this state's entire economy. Those same mountains that built livelihoods for generations have become a real barrier to modern development. The economy is the core issue. With the mines closing and no real replacement industry stepping in, unemployment isn't just a number on a chart. Whole towns have been left without work. Tech and modern manufacturing jobs are basically non-existent, pushing young people to leave their families behind just to earn a living elsewhere. Healthcare here tells a genuinely painful story. West Virginia has the highest overdose death rate in the country tied to the opioid crisis, and it also leads the nation in smoking, obesity, and heart disease. Getting medical care deep in the mountains is a real challenge, and health insurance eats a huge chunk of the average household budget. Schools face a severe teacher shortage and declining performance, and even though living costs are low, taxes run high relative to the public services residents actually receive, a financial squeeze that turns everyday life into a constant balancing act. Winters are bitterly cold, and the mountainous terrain makes the region prone to sudden, destructive flash floods. On the safety front, even as a mostly rural state, widespread poverty and substance abuse have driven up property crime and burglary rates in many areas, chipping away at the peaceful rural image people move there hoping to find. The numbers: average monthly income per person is around $3,800, monthly cost of living including rent is close to $1,700, and average home prices sit near $162,600, some of the cheapest numbers on this whole list, but earned through some very real hardship. Number 4. New Mexico. This state blends mesmerizing desert scenery, deep Spanish heritage, and Native American culture into something truly one of a kind, famous for its chili-spiced cuisine and home to the largest hot air balloon festival on the planet, an event that draws visitors from every corner of the globe. New Mexico easily wins people over with its scenery and culture, yet it consistently ranks among the most dangerous states to call home, turning the dream into a genuine worry for a lot of families. It's the 5th largest state by land area but has a surprisingly low population density, sunny weather nearly all year, and reasonable housing and living costs, alongside serious cultural richness. It's also home to major research institutions like Los Alamos National Laboratory. But those upsides get overshadowed by some harsh realities. Public safety is the number one reason this state lands so low. New Mexico regularly posts some of the highest violent and property crime rates per capita in the entire country. Albuquerque in particular struggles with a serious car theft problem and frequent assaults, and widespread drug and weapons activity has really disrupted the state's sense of peace. Education is in crisis too. New Mexico consistently ranks dead last nationally for education quality, with alarmingly low graduation rates and reading and math scores that trail far behind. Healthcare access is another weak spot, with a serious shortage of doctors and specialists, meaning a trip to a well-equipped hospital from rural areas can mean traveling a very long way. The local economy leans heavily on oil, gas, tourism, and government jobs. Step outside those fields and work becomes scarce with wages to match. Poverty rates rank among the highest in the country, and the lack of investment in tech and manufacturing keeps unemployment and economic hardship a constant shadow over families and young professionals alike. Weather adds its own strain, with scorching, dry summers, an ongoing historic drought and water shortage threatening agriculture, and the constant danger of massive wildfires tearing through mountain regions and consuming thousands of acres every year. Money snapshot: average monthly income per person is around $4,000, monthly cost of living including rent is about $2,000, and average home prices sit near $248,100. Reasonable numbers that don't tell you much about the safety concerns waiting just outside them. Number 3. Mississippi. Known as the Magnolia State and home to the mighty Mississippi River, this is the birthplace of the blues, a genre that reshaped music around the globe and still echoes through juke joints and festivals today, and it's famous for its genuinely warm southern hospitality. And yet Mississippi sits at or near the very top of nearly every worst state ranking tied to economic and health-related quality of life in America. Bordering the Gulf of Mexico, its cost of living and housing prices rank among the cheapest anywhere in the country, meaning even a modest paycheck can land you a genuinely spacious home. Life moves slowly here and people are known for their warmth, but those low prices come at a real cost to daily quality of life. The economy is the biggest problem. Mississippi has the highest poverty rate in the entire United States, topping 18%, and the lowest median household income in the country, with modern career paths in tech and AI practically non-existent. Most work is concentrated in agriculture or low-wage service jobs. Healthcare paints an equally grim picture. Mississippi is consistently ranked the unhealthiest state in America, with the highest obesity, diabetes, and heart disease rates in the nation, and tragically, the highest infant mortality rate as well. Rural hospitals keep closing due to chronic underfunding, making quality medical care genuinely hard to come by. Education has seen a small bright spot recently with improving childhood reading scores, but schools in low-income districts still lack the resources and funding they need. On the tax front, despite the widespread poverty, the state still charges a steep 7% sales tax on raw groceries, putting real financial pressure on families who are already stretched thin just trying to feed themselves. Safety-wise, the capital city of Jackson deals with exceptionally high violent crime alongside an ongoing water infrastructure crisis. And weather brings its own misery. Summers are unbearably humid and hot, and the state sits right in the path of destructive tornadoes and tropical storms rolling in from the Gulf, leaving behind repair bills that run into the thousands. The numbers: average monthly income per person is around $3,200, monthly cost of living including rent is about $1,900, and average home prices land near $169,800, among the lowest figures anywhere in the country, but so are the health outcomes tied to them. Number 2, Alaska. The largest state in the country by far, more than twice the size of Texas. Alaska is home to the tallest peak on the continent, and it's the only state that actually pays you just for living there. This is a land of grizzly bears, massive glaciers, and the northern lights dancing overhead, offering raw wilderness, world-class fishing, and a level of solitude you simply can't find anywhere else on the map. Its biggest perk is the permanent fund dividend, an annual payout of oil revenue that every resident receives. But that check comes at a steep price. The first jarring reality is public safety. Alaska consistently ranks among the most dangerous states in the country for violent crime, driven by extreme geographic isolation, a serious shortage of law enforcement in remote areas, and troublingly high rates of alcohol and substance abuse. Living costs run sky-high too, since nearly everything has to be shipped enormous distances. A gallon of milk or a bag of fresh vegetables can easily cost double what you'd pay anywhere else. There's no state income tax, but fuel, heating, and everyday goods carry astronomical price tags. The single biggest hurdle, though, is the darkness. In parts of Alaska, the sun doesn't rise for weeks during winter. That extended darkness and bitter cold contribute to seasonal affective disorder, and this isolation is a major factor behind why Alaska records some of the highest rates of depression and suicide in the entire country. Job opportunities are largely limited to oil, commercial fishing, or seasonal tourism. If your background lies elsewhere, finding work here can be a real struggle. Healthcare presents its own geographic nightmare too. A medical emergency in a remote community often means a specialized flight to reach the nearest hospital, driving costs sky-high and making timely care genuinely unpredictable. Money picture: average monthly income per person is around $4,400, monthly cost of living including rent runs about $2,500, and average home prices sit near $352,900, the highest home prices on this whole list, oil dividend or not. And in the number 1 spot, Louisiana, the Pelican State. Arguably the most culturally distinctive state in the entire country, Louisiana blends French, Spanish, and African heritage into something you won't find anywhere else. Home to the world-famous Mardi Gras celebrations, the birthplace of jazz music echoing through the streets of New Orleans, and beloved Creole and Cajun cooking that draws food lovers from every state in the country. Sitting in the deep south along the Gulf of Mexico, its strengths are obvious. A genuinely unique culture, real southern hospitality, and very affordable housing. It's also a major center for oil production and shipping thanks to the mighty Mississippi River running through it. But behind that festive energy, Louisiana consistently ranks as one of the most dangerous and poorest states in the entire country. The number 1 reason it lands at the very bottom is public safety. Louisiana has recorded some of the highest homicide and violent crime rates per capita in America for years running, and cities like New Orleans and Baton Rouge face genuine security crises alongside serious gang and drug activity. The second major challenge is Mother Nature herself. Louisiana sits directly in the path of devastating Gulf hurricanes, and history will never forget Hurricane Katrina. Because so much of the state sits below sea level, flooding happens constantly, driving homeowners' insurance to some of the highest rates in the entire country and leaving properties perpetually at the mercy of extreme weather. Despite sitting on substantial oil wealth, Louisiana has the third highest poverty rate in America. The income gap is enormous and quality job openings are largely confined to petrochemical work or tourism, leaving most available jobs paying very little. Healthcare quality has declined sharply too, with strikingly high cancer and heart disease rates. One major industrial corridor in the state is even nicknamed Cancer Alley for a reason. Education fares no better, with the state consistently ranking near the bottom nationally for school quality. And to top it off, local governments have leaned on steep combined state and local sales taxes, reaching as high as 9.5% in some areas, meaning whatever you save on cheap housing gets eaten right back up by taxes on everything you buy. The final numbers: average monthly income per person is around $3,600, monthly cost of living including rent runs about $2,000, and average home prices land near $216,500, proof that even the most affordable housing can't outweigh the risk stacked on top of it. And that wraps things up, folks. 10 states, 10 very different stories, but the same lesson underneath all of them. Cheap living almost always comes with a trade-off somewhere else, whether that's safety, healthcare, schools, or the weather itself. If you stuck around this far, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.